Thank you once again. So I'm going to introduce our speaker of today. His name is Joanna John Rupia. He's an experienced English language teacher and educational leader. He is pursuing master degree at University of Open University, pursuing educational administration and planning and policy. He is a current teacher teaching at Muungano Pre-Primary School in Tanzania, and he is a member of Shelter, but also he is a dedicated mentor and lifelong learner. He also advocates for youth empowerment and equality education across Africa. Ivana, the floor is yours. You can open the video so that the audience can see you, and after that, we will you are allowed to close the video.
Okay, thank you, Madam Kesia, for your kind introduction. Thank you, the floor. As how Madam Kesia said that I'm Johanna John Lupia, an English teacher. Over 9 years now teaching experience on the same field of English language. Oh, I welcome you all at this webinar. I can greet you good evening, good afternoon. I don't know if others are there still good morning, but I can say good morning to you all if you are at your country is now still morning. So I would like to welcome you all into this webinar. Let's share together as to improve our education sector. So thank you so much. Madam Kesia has introduced me enough, so I can say in short like that. So let's continue with our topic of today, which is transform your classroom. We are going to discuss the 10 ways to engage students in a student-centered classroom. So I would like to invite you all, please, so as we can enjoy this unique topic, which is now to be used all over the world. Can you, yes, thank you, madam, thank you. So specifically, we are dealing with student-centered teaching methodology. And we are going to check out those 10 ways. How can we engage our students in our classes? As we know that for many years, for decades, we were just using the old system of teaching. That is teacher-centered teaching methodology, in which a teacher was there just to dictate, to impart knowledge to learners, and not to make learners engage and share some skills, some ideas, and knowledge from the lesson. So it was the teacher like a lecturer at the university. So the world has transformed from that kind of teaching system. So teachers, we need to change now from that all the kind of teaching system to this kind of student-centered teaching methodology. Maybe on the chat room, you can tell us maybe what is student-centered teaching methodology. You can post there, right on the chat box. Tell us, what do you understand by the by these or student-centered teaching methodology? But also, you can chat on the chat box. Tell us it's why it is important. Why it is important? Yeah. Why should we implement this kind of teaching methodology in our classrooms? Chat on the chat, write on the chat box. Then we can share some ideas from you attendees. Next, please.
Well,
Madam.
everybody, please write your answers on the chat box and I'll be here reading for you. While waiting, we have Naetra said, participate students in their learning by giving them an opportunity to explain what they know. Yeah, thank you guys. We have Matthias say that collaborating with the student directly in the whole process of learning. Then Chuma said the students are targeted to dominate the classroom 80%. Then Willie said learners being in the change of their learning. Zeno said the students are controllers of the classroom while teachers are the directors. Thank you guys. Irene said a teaching approach that gives the student more power to allow them to bring on the tables their ideas. Thank you. Everest said students become the center of learning where more activities, engaging activities are given priorities. Thank you guys for the answers. Yes, back to you.
Yes, yes. Wow, wow, wow. It is amazing, eh? Cheers to all
Yeah.
those who have given out their contributions. Yeah, it's like that which have been written down the chat box. It is correct. All the answers are correct, and those are the advantages of student-centered teaching methodology. So, dear teachers, I think we have seen all the advantages, so we should make sure that we employ this kind of teaching methodology so as to make our students more engaged in the learning process. Yeah, can you see the class is shining now? It is shining. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Can we move, madam? Yeah. So as you can see on the screen, this is an example of student-centered classroom. You can see there, we see students sitting on groups, and you can see two teachers, one female teacher and the other is male teacher. But also we can see teachers are just there observing from their students what are doing. They are just facilitating and maybe giving some instructions, ABC, on how to do. They are just looking at them. So this is how the classroom is needed to look like on the student-centered teaching system. So this is how the student-centered classroom looks like. A teacher should be there just as an observer, as a facilitator. Yeah, giving some small instructions to students what to do, but not to dominate the discussion. Now we see students are very busy practicing their own ideas on different activities. Yeah. So I think after here, every teacher will go and implement this kind of teaching methodology. Next, madam. Oh, you have skipped number 2? Skip. Yeah, thank you, madam. So let us look now the 10 ways to engage students in a student-centered classroom. How can we engage our students? When we say that we should use these student-centered classroom, how can we engage our students now in our classrooms? So I can say, number one, we should employ the balanced instruction system in our classes. How can we employ? Just by the use of 8/20% rule. that the students should participate in the learning, should engage over about 8%, and only 20% of the teacher should be participating in the learning process. So that's so just facilitating, giving some small instructions on how to do, giving them some small activities in the class. So only 20% should be implemented by the teacher, but 8% should be on the hands of the students. And there, a teacher should stay as a facilitator and not as a dictator. You should not dictate the class. Leave students to do their own activities. Just look after them. Just facilitate them what to do. Encourage them. Make them engage on themselves. Yeah. So that is the use of 8/20% rule. When you do like this, you will see your students get engaging more and more, but they will be understanding your lesson and loving your lesson very much. Next, madam. Yes. Number 2, as a teacher, when you are in the classroom, implementing this student-centered teaching methodology. Number 2, you should use the questioning techniques. Once you go there, do not flow each and everything on your own. No. As you know, our students are not tabula rasa. They have something in their mind. Yeah, they can contribute something. Sometimes our students know much.
Yeah, sorry, sometimes network issues happen. Hello, Johanna. So as Johanna continue presenting, please let's digest the first point where he was narrating on
than we teacher. Maybe once you go there in the class, you post your.
Yeah, now the network kicked him out.
Yeah.
So in the chat box.
He's back.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Joanna.
Yes, madam. Yes.
So the network was not good. You are about to start the point number 2. Can you start from there?
Okay. So I said number 2, a teacher, once you go in the class, you have prepared your lesson. Once you go there, just write the topic of your of the day on the board. After then, you use the questioning techniques by calling on students. Just you pick them by calling their names. They will feel comfortable and they will feel like they are loved by you as a teacher. Just call one after another. Mwajuma, can you tell us these 2 advantages of tourism in Tanzania? Then you mention another John, and you are balancing how you mention their names, female and male. But also you can use asking questions to the class. You may be posting or asking questions to the whole class. That class, can you tell me maybe, or can you tell us as a class, can you tell us what are the advantages of tourism in Tanzania? Yes, they will be participating on themselves. They will be thinking. They will be making their own effort on how to find the best answers. So by that way, you will be implementing the student-centered teaching methodology. Yes, let's go to number 3. Yes, number 3, Another way, as a teacher, you should design it for differences. You should design it for differences. I remember when I was at the university, my lecturer taught me about individual differences. So, you know, in the class, we differ in different kinds. Yeah, we can differ in understanding capacity, but you can differ, maybe others are disabled students. So when you are designing your lesson, make sure you observe those kind of criteria. Make sure you design it for differences. So design it for students' needs. Make sure you know the needs of the students, but also make sure when you are designing your lesson, make sure you capture the interests of the students, but also observe the individual differences. When you are preparing your lesson, do not use your complex language. Just use your simple language, which can be understood by all the students in the class. But your lesson should be loved by all the students the way you design, observing the differences in the class. So by doing so, you'll be implementing the student-centered teaching methodology in your classroom. Next, please. Yes. Number 4, as a teacher, once you go in your class, make sure you create your lesson for critical thinking. Your lesson should make your students think critically. Yeah, give them the freedom to come up with the answers and the solutions and solutions on their own regarding all the activities you have prepared for them. Just prepare the activities for them, assign them to sit, whether in their groups or individually or whatever discussion. Let them discuss. Let them think critically on how to find the best answers and the solutions on the activities you have given them. That's why you can see most of the universities, students are being given take-home assignments. Yeah, they are given the assignments to do on their groups. And I think this is done globally, that students are being grouped in groups and they're given their assignments to do on themselves. Then they will present before their teacher, before the class. So by doing so, you are campaigning for critical thinking of your students, but also you are implementing the student-centered teaching methodology, which is the best methodology for the current world. Next, madam. And number 5, make sure you encourage the practice, do, and create. This is say learning through application. Once you go in your classroom, please let students practice. Let them do and let them create on their own. By doing that, they will be making different applications using their own effort. They will practice. Maybe you have given them some assignments to do. They will practice how to do. They will do, and they will create some new ideas regarding your lesson, rather than imparting everything, giving them, feeding them. No, just you should encourage the practice, do, and create system that is learning through application. Thank you, madam. Next. Number 6, make sure you use the authentic materials. Authentic materials. Use Leila and the other materials and ask students to bring their own. When you say authentic materials, are those materials which are simple availability within the context. Yeah, the use of those materials which are easily available within the, maybe whether within the school or within the society or the community where students and the school is established. So sometimes you may ask them to bring their own, I mean the teaching aids. For instance, you may ask them to bring fruits. Yeah, fruits. You may ask them to bring some different aids, which will facilitate the learning to be very easy understood by students, because you will be using those tangible materials which are locally made, rather basing using materials from abroad, which are very, very, very complex to understand. Just use those simple materials. Yeah, maybe you are teaching, maybe you can say music. Ask them to bring those local materials like CD, flash, speakers, those radio. They should carry them from their home places. Then you can teach them very simply, rather than using those complex materials from abroad. So by doing so, you are implementing the student-centered teaching methodology, and the students will understand very well. You know, I remember when I was at secondary school, O level and advanced level, our teachers stressed much teaching us mining activities in China, mining activities, I don't know, abroad. They didn't teach me about mining activities in Geita, in Shinyanga, whatever, in Chunya, which are very simple understood. And geography seemed to be a very difficult subject by the time. Because of China, you're mentioning Japan, but they should use just Geita, Shinyanga, Chunya, and other places within the country, even within the community. Yes, next, madam. Yeah, number 7, as a teacher, make sure you make a comfortable environment for learning. Make sure you create a comfortable environment for learning. I mean, for students. For instance, the use of warm language, a welcoming language. Invite students to participate in the lesson, but also encourage community building. Use the language which is very loving language to students, a language which is welcoming, a language which invites participation for students in the lesson, but also you can use the strategy which is which can build community among the students. They should feel themselves that they're like, they are 40 in the class, but they are living as one, as a single unit in the class. It is like a unit, a system operating different activities, but they should feel like, for instance, here we are living as a community of Delta in Tanzania and Delta in Africa. So we are the community. So we are feeling good through this community. We have come to know each other from different places within Tanzania, even outside Tanzania. So make sure when you're in the class, create a comfortable learning environment by using a warm language. I mean a positive language, a loving language, an invitation language, which invites students to participate in the lesson and to come them together to engage in the lesson. By the way, that is a student-centered teaching methodology. Next, madam. Number 8, collaboration. Make sure you encourage collaboration into your classroom. How can you do through group activities and the projects, but also through discussion and cooperation, Make sure you put your students in the class in groups. Provide assignments, quiz, I don't know, in groups. Let them do their projects in groups. Let them discuss. Let them cooperate. Encourage all these things in the classroom. Students will develop this habit of sitting together, cooperating together, doing things together, and they will be widening their thinking capacity. They will be thinking critically. They will be expanding their ideas, and the other, and the other, and the other. So you will be implementing the student-centered teaching methodology as we have. Our Ministry of Education today encourages much teachers not to impart knowledge, but we should be there to share the knowledge with students, because our students are not empty-minded. They have something in their brain. Next matter. Number 9, way number 9 is choice and responsibility. Students help make those decisions and take responsibility for their own learning. Here it means let students, give students the freedom and the right to choose what they like, what they love. By the way, they will be responsible for the cause you have designed for them. They will make decisions on themselves, and they will take responsibility for their own learning. Just to go there, give the topic you have prepared for the day, and then give the freedom and right to do on themselves. Do not dictate them. Give them the freedom to participate, to choose, and be responsible to make decisions on the different activities you have given them. Your duty is just to recommend or to comment at the end of their discussion. Thank you, madam. Next. And the last way is reflection. As we know, in your classrooms, at the end of the lesson, we end up by making reflection on your lesson to see how the lesson was, how have gone your lesson. So give students an opportunity to reflect on what and how they are learning. Give them the opportunity to make recommendation on the lesson. Let them comment. Let them speak. Was the lesson interesting or not? Did you understand or not? Just give them the opportunity. You can choose 1 to 3 or 4 students to reflect as what have they learned? Is it understood? And how was the learning? Was the lesson interesting or not? Give them the opportunity. And now we are told like that by the Ministry of Education that we should not engage in anything, but just by 20%. 8%, let students decide, let them reflect, let them comment and recommend. By the way, they can comment or they can speak something not good for your will. So as a teacher, you should not be negative upon them. Show the positive mood for them. Just receive what they are saying, and then work on their comments so as to improve your lesson. Next, madam. Oh, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you all for your attention and participation. If you have any question, you can post on the chat room. But also, what I can say that thank you all technical leaders from Tanzania. You have made something very amazing for me, taking this course of professional development for teacher trainers. So this is the outcome of that course. Thank you so much, all leaders, all technical leaders from Tanzania. Thank you, Madam Kesia.
Wow, thank you so much, Johanna. People appreciate a lot here, but also have some questions. So I will lead 2 questions, then I'll let you answer, then followed with the next question up until we finish.
Okay.
So the questions, okay, Happy Teachers Day. Then here are the students. Here a student is the sent. Okay, they were answering the first question. Then we have Howard said, "Don't use complex vocabulary." She was emphasizing on number 5. Then Aidan said, "How students reflect the lesson through this student-centered approach. Extra help plays on this." So Aidan, he needs some extra help on how students reflect the lesson through this student-centered approach. Back to you, Johanna.
Okay, thank you, madam. Okay, I remember I ever attended one seminar regarding the current curriculum. We asked the same question, yeah, to presenters. But you may, at the end, you may ask, you may choose, according to the time, to your time, maybe in the class, you can choose 2 students, one a girl and the other is a boy. Then you may ask them, how did, can you say something about the lesson of today? Then they will say something to your lesson, both of them. And if possible, you can maybe ask them some questions. Was the lesson interesting today? Tell us, did you understand the lesson? Maybe something to improve for the next lesson. They will speak. If it was an interesting lesson, they will say the lesson was good. Yeah, next time maybe do 1, 2, 3. For instance, one day I was teaching at my school. Then at the end, I asked my students. I put them in groups, and then I gave them some different assignment activities to do. After making their presentations on before the class, once I came to ask them for reflection, one of them said, "Teacher, next time do like this. The question you have given for group number 1 should be given to group number 2, and the question for group number 2 should be given to number 1." So the issue of exchange of the questions. You see?
Really?
So yeah, it's like that.
Thank you. So when you let students speak and a teacher, when you let the free conversation between a teacher and a student, you'll get the feedback, whether it is positive or negative. Thank you. Then you have other person say, "Thank you, wow, that's perfect. Thank you, congratulations, Sir Johanna. Thank you so much. Bravo, Mr. Rupia. Can you elaborate again about point number 6, number 5 and 6? So they want some elaboration about point 5 and 6. Number 5.
Okay, number five, practice, do, and create. Kind of teaching methodology based on learners. As a teacher, you should make students freely practice on the lesson. They should practice. At the university, we learned one theory from Bandura, the theory of trial, error and trial. I don't know if I state it clearly. Yeah, trial and error theory by
Try and
Bandura.
error, yes.
Yeah, by the way you try and you fail, the way you are making practice to improve. So do not give answers to students abruptly. Let them practice. Give assignment 1, assignment 2. At the end, they will improve. They will do. Let them do on themselves. Do not do for them. Give them the opportunity to do on themselves. Whatever you assign for them, any activity you give them, just to give them the freedom, free time to do. But also let them create their own ideas. Yeah, do not, whatever they use, blah, blah vocabularies, do not discourage them. Just encourage them. Yes, yes. For instance, you are teaching English in the class, the issue of vocabulary. Someone is using she instead of he. Then you tell him or her, you're so bogus. Just encourage them to create their own. By the way, they will understand. Oh, girls is a she, and for boys is a he. So by the way, they will be practicing by and maybe the issue of making pronunciation of words. They by the way they practice, they will be improving their pronunciation level of vocabularies.
So this will be the learning by doing.
Yeah, learning by doing through application.
Thank you. Let's go to point number 6.
Number 6, I said the use of authentic materials. When you say authentic materials, which are used in the classroom, that we should use those real materials which are available within the context, the learning context, within the school, within the community. For instance, everyday items like fruits, utensils, maps, currents, clothing, and other issues, menus or recipes. If you are teaching, maybe your lesson is food related, use now those common food materials which are found within the environment. You should not use Chinese food, which we don't use. You cannot, it's not our culture to eat frogs or snakes. So we should use the real objects, real life objects, which are found within our context. Thank you, madam.
Thank you so much for the elaboration. We have a lot of chats here. We have congratulations. They congratulate you. They appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Johanna, for the presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Johanna. Thank you. I joined late, but I gained a lot. We have our He don't want to be called a boss, but our leader said, thank you, Joanna. We also appreciate your willingness to share the knowledge with us. That is from Ayubu, the country coordinator. Congratulations, Sir Joanna. Congratulations, Mr. Presenter. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sarafina asked some questions, said, how can I use this approach for slower learners in inclusive classroom? We say that lower achievers in an inclusive classroom.
Okay. So and this teaching methodology is best. It fits best for those slow learners. Point number 3, if you remember, number 3, design for differences. Number 3, when you are designing your teaching materials, your lesson, make sure you consider individual differences. I said, make sure you design for students' needs, interests, and individual differences. In the class, we have fast learners and slow learners. Those who are slow to understand and those who are fast to understand. But also interests to differ in the class. So make sure when you are designing your lesson, I said, first use your simple language. Use your simple language. Do not use those difficult vocabularies. It will be hard for slow learners to understand. But also, when you are teaching, make sure you give an ample time, opportunity for slow learners to participate more than those fast learners. Give them an opportunity and encourage them. Whatever they give out wrong answer, do not discourage them that you no. Just tell them yes, clap on for them. Yeah, you have tried, good, very nice. So you are giving them an opportunity to try to practice to do on themselves. By the way, you are observing their needs and interests according to individual differences in the class. So this is the best teaching methodology regarding individual differences in the class. Thank you, madam.
Yeah, thank you so much. Again, people appreciate your presentation. We have Aidan said, thanks, presenter. I get you. Great answer. And the presentation was interesting. I have learned a lot. A lot of appreciation from Upendo. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of appreciation from Tumaini. And Livinus said these strategies are more useful, especially to the students who learn English as their second language. Yeah. Thank you. Elizabeth said, thank you for the good presentation. Joy said, I have liked this kind of presentation, very clear and motivating. Olivia said, learning by doing can also help slow learners to understand easier. So thank you, dear teachers, for your answers, your questions, and recommendation as we were reading here. So I'm still welcoming teachers. If you have any question or to add more, if you have anything, just write it on the chat box so that I can read it for you. Thank you, Diana. Said this must have been very enriching too. But I joined late, but I learned from questions asked. Happy Teachers Day. Thank you, Diana. Happy Teachers Day to you too. So before concluding this webinar today, I would like to welcome you again, Joanna. If you have anything for conclusion before wind up the session.
Okay, thank you, Madam Kesia, for another opportunity. I'm so happy. I'm so excited for this wonderful opportunity, wonderful chance. Guys, just I was cascading knowledge. Yeah. I learned when I was taking the course of professional development for teacher trainers, cascading knowledge. Yeah. So this is one of them, I think. So I was thinking as how can I cascade knowledge? So today I have done it. I have implemented. So I have my dreams have been fulfilled. So thank you so much once again, all attendees, for your participation and questions and other additional comments on the chat box. Thank you all leaders. Madam Laura, I don't know if she's here, Madam Irene, Madam Kesia, yeah, my moderator, thank you so much. I would appreciate all the leadership of health. Thank you so much. Otherwise, I wish you all the best.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Johanna. Thank you for the readiness of you ready to cascade the knowledge that you got from one of our online courses. And this is the call to all teachers who have been undergoing different online courses through open course. When you finish it, please cascade. Cascade to your schools, cascade to the webinars like this, so that people can hear and share new knowledge that we gained. Do not hide, do not carry it to yourself. As teachers, our voice is so valuable. And if we voice it, the teacher, we are going to shape our student, but we are going to shape ourselves. So thank you so much for the active participation, for the time that you have taken, listening, asking questions, and giving us an ideas. Thank you again for remaining silent and not without unmuting here and there. Thank you to all teachers in Tanzania and outside Tanzania. Thank you, Rupia, for this wonderful presentation. And I can say we have learned a lot. To sum up, we have traveled with you from tip number 1 to tip number 10. We've learned about collaboration. We've learned about conducive environment to learners. We've learned about the using of authentic material. As teachers, we need to use authentic material and allow to practice, to make to do it, to learn by doing. So if a student learn by doing, they'll feel more engaged, they'll feel more valuable, and the lesson will take place easily. So this is a call to all teachers to not rely on knowledge-based instruction. Rather, we should use student-centered way of teaching, so that we can enjoy teaching, but also the student can enjoy the lesson and make it more fun and happier. So without further ado, before winding up, let me see if there is a last question. Nothing, but everyone is enjoying and appreciating. Can you open up your video, and I want everybody to tap themselves like here and say Happy Teachers Day to everyone. Congratulate yourself by saying Happy Teachers Day to us. Please open up your video and do as I ask. Yes, yes. Isn't it not funny? Happy teachers, everyone. Tap yourself and say happy teacher, everyone. The job that you are doing.
Teacher.
Yes, the job that you are doing is so great.
Happy Teachers Day.
Thank you. Then can you show me some emojis of celebrating of this day, this beautiful day? Yeah, thank you, baby. I've heard you. Can we show some emojis of celebrating our day? Yes, I see love. Thank you. I want to read. Oh, yes, I can see.
Happy Teachers Day.
Happy Teachers Day, everyone.
Happy Teachers Day to you all.
Thank you everybody. So Irene or anybody, can you help me to screenshot the videos, the attendance and the celebration of our day today? I can see you, Sister Toy. Happy Teacher's Day to you. Thank you, everybody. People are not opening the video. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I understand. Thank you so much. And this comes to the end of our today's webinar, where our colleague Joanna was cascading the knowledge on 10 ways of engaging students into student learning center method. And here are the tips. Go and use it in your schools, cascade in everywhere that you wish, and people will enjoy. So, okay, Irene, I can see your hand.
So before you end, I want to remind people that, as Keisha said in the beginning, this is a series. So today is number 1. We'll be having more webinars. We'll have the second webinar on the 19th of this month. So we'll be having 2 webinars in a month. So kindly, please join us, participate, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Please. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Irene. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a teacher to tell a teacher, so that we can be good in teaching and explore the art of teaching. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.